Are you at the end of a relationship or going through a divorce and wondering, how do I love myself now? Set boundaries. Establish healthy boundaries with your ex-spouse, your family members, your friends, anyone else who may be impacting your well-being. Boundaries help protect your emotional space and allow you to prioritize your needs in the healing process. So this is what I call next level, top tier self-love. It wasn't until I started making decisions that offended other people but honored me did I start really understanding self-love. It's not all about the nails and the hair and how you get an extra long massage and all those things. Don't get me wrong, those have place and value. Self-love for me started to really show when I stopped tolerating the BS from other people. I started speaking up at the restaurant when my order was wrong. And when somebody came in after me and they got sat down first, I went and said, "Excuse me, I was here waiting. Please let me know an update. I see you sitting people that came after me." That was not how I was. I was the type of person before that just allowed it. You bring me the wrong meal, I'm just going to eat it. I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I just want peace. And peace meant dumbing down, being quiet, being small, allowing life to happen, and just going along with the flow. But that existence allowed me to interact with people and circumstances that were far less than I deserved. When I started using that throat, my voice, to create what I want and still be loving and fun and compassionate and feminine, I wasn't trying to be a man and do the man thing, but I would say, "Hello, I'm a person and I got thoughts and feelings that are worth somebody paying attention to," okay? The boundaries, knowing where I stopped and somebody else started, knowing what was mine and what belonged to you, was critical in what I call a self-love journey. I just started to say I'm worth more and I must be treated like it at all costs. And if someone did not talk to me how I spoke to me, they lost the privilege of being around me. It's quite simple. When you go through a season of life and you lose everything that you have known, it changes you. And sometimes it changes you for the better. I realized you don't deserve to be in my space if you don't know how to handle me, if you don't know how to honor me, because I honor myself. And the evidence of me honoring myself is behaving accordingly. This is so hard, but this is how I grew that muscle. It was in the decisions I made. It was in what I allowed. It was in what was allowed access into my life. I stopped making excuses for people. I stopped engaging in relationships or conversations that didn't uplift my soul. Baby, this is where it's at. You want to talk about self-love, but people can run through you however they want? No, that's not how this is going to play out. You can do your nails all you want. If people can call you and disrespect you and say things that's mean and hurtful and you allow it, if you are conveniencing people that don't convenience you, this is the moment I knew I had arrived at self-love. It was at this point, because I started saying, "Myesha, you don't do that. Like, you got a standard? You have expectations? You govern yourself accordingly?" And guess what started to happen? Everything around me started to shift. The more you allow and tolerate, the more you attract and bring in. If people can treat you however they want, you say nothing, you do nothing, you go along with it, you are saying, this is the level of my self-worth, this is the level of my self-love, and this is the level of my value. For whatever reason, to keep the peace, because you feel like this is what you were taught, this is how you were raised, because you are afraid, whatever it is. No, I'm not doing it anymore. So self-love graduates. For me, it started externally, and then it started to be internal, and then it affected all my decisions and my behaviors. Another thing I learned is over the journey, I started to fall in love with things that I love. I reconnected with activities and things that brought me joy and fulfillment. I found out I was a fitness type of girl. I didn't even know that. But I was doing things that brought me joy, and that enhanced my sense of self-worth. I started to give myself credit for how I was showing up in the world. And in becoming the kind of person that I would want to be friends with, the kind of person I would want to spend my life with. Another thing you can do is focus on personal growth. Use this space as an opportunity to grow and to discover more of who you are. Self-love is learning, well, who am I? Set new goals, set new intentions, and invest in personal development. Find ways to upskill who you are and your contribution to the world. That adds value to you. Redefine yourself and create the life that you want. Lastly, it's so important. Forgive yourself and forgive your ex. Forgiving is, not stop being angry. Forgiveness is a powerful tool for healing and moving forward. You want to practice self-love, start saying, you know what, I forgive you for doing the best that you could, for your shortcomings and for what you've allowed. And then forgive the person you spent your life with, or maybe a few years with, or maybe 2 decades with. Forgive them. We're all doing the best that we can. And there's nothing that they did that you didn't allow. So we both have this sense of, I release you and I release me as well. This creates a space for self-love to flourish when you can look at yourself and say, you did the best you could, girl. I said, much love to you, Myesha. Thank you. I spent 22 years in this relationship. I learned a lot. Self-love is a journey, and it's okay to have ups and downs along the way. How else are you going to learn? I had to take a few lumps to know I don't like lumps. We're not going there. Be gentle with yourself. Practice patience and trust. And with time and self-compassion, you will learn how to love you, especially after you've gone through the end of a relationship or moving through divorce. Remember, these are buy the dress, book the trip. When they ask you, do you want which massage? Don't get the cheapest package. Get the extra massage. These things will still help you see your value and then move forward. Enforce those boundaries. If you do X, I will do Z. Self-love is more about action and how we treat ourselves and how we allow others to treat us. It's changing the narrative in the conversation. Because I love myself, there is only a certain thing that I will allow in my space. So if you didn't know, I'm Myesha Chaney, author, speaker, content creator, and your new best friend. I am living my authentic life and helping people do the same. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, comment, let me know, what are you doing to practice self-love? How are you doing with the decisions? How are you doing with boundaries? No matter what the circumstance is that led you to be here, I'm so happy you are here. This is the sweetness and the gift of life. Love yourself. And out of that loving of yourself, you're able to love others in greater ways. I'm going to be in the comments right now, going back and forth with you. Please let me know. I'm learning from you as you're learning from me. Let's continue to find our way back home. Peace.